Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I have another packaging video for you. In my last video, I upcycled some stuff you could find at home. One of the items was a little bit questionable, but the rest were pretty cool, so if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. Today's a little bit different. These items you will have to purchase, but you won't break the bank doing so, and they're gonna give you a little bit more of a luxurious, designery feel. Even if you're not a strong designer, you don't need to be. I'm gonna show you how you can make these. Some of them will be from scratch, and some of them you might benefit from using your CRICUT, but you don't have to. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. And if you use any of these ideas, please tag me on Instagram at SarahTypes because I'd love to see them. Okay, so first up I have this idea I got from Pinterest where it is a sticker and it has a pattern on it and you just cut a rectangle shape out of it and use it to close your packaging box. It's really easy and also makes it look really polished. So to do that, I grabbed this terrazzo pattern I found on Creative Market. And then I just repeated that pattern on an 8.5 by 11 canvas and printed that out on my full sheet label from NEATO, and then used a paper cutter to just cut out some rectangular shapes. You can take your branding one step further by adding your logo to the top of the box using a custom rubber stamp. You can also use the same pattern that I just showed you and then add your logo on top of the pattern. You can use a software like Canva or Photoshop if you have it, and then use that to close the box lid. Next, I have another sticker, but this time I'm using it to close a folded tissue paper. Tissue paper would be great if you sell something like a t-shirt, and the sticker is just a cute way of giving a message to your customer or even just using your logo there. To create the sticker, I drew it out first in Procreate using my iPad Pro. If you don't know how to draw or if you don't know how to design, that's okay because I will have this image available to purchase. So when you purchase it, you can either download it and use your CRICUT to cut it out, which is what I did here, or you can just upload it to a website and have them make the stickers for you and mail them to you. However, in this video, I used my CRICUT, my at-home printer, and my glossy NEATO labels because I think they look really good and it's a fast, easy way for me to try different designs. Up next, I'm using my rubber stamp again, this time with some cotton tape. You can buy this at most fabric stores, but I also sell this as a package on my Etsy shop where you get the cotton tape, the ink pad, and the rubber stamp. So all I did was stamp across the tape and then used that to tie up around a craft box. Another way to close the cotton tape is actually with a wax seal. This will just give it a lot more of a luxurious look, but it's pretty inexpensive because the wax is not that expensive, and then the seal itself is expensive at first, but you can use it over and over again. You can find letters for the seals on Amazon, and those are pretty inexpensive, or you can get one custom made with your own logo. And you don't have to use this little spoon with wax balls if you don't want to. This is definitely the longer, more old-fashioned way of doing it. You can buy wax glue sticks. They're specific glue sticks for wax sealing. They're not the regular glue sticks. And you can use those. You can get them in many different colors, and you can use that with the seal. I also use that same rubber stamp to stamp on these cotton muslin bags. They're pretty inexpensive, and they just look really, really nice when you have something small that you're shipping out and you don't want it just floating around loose in your mailer. And then by stamping on the front of them, it's a really inexpensive way to add your brand rather than having them printed. And what you could do is just add a tag to that little bag. So the tag I actually cut using my CRICUT, and I will link below the SVG files I found to make them. And then I use that seal again on the craft tag because it just makes it a little bit more three-dimensional, and you can use this as a thank you note, or maybe you use this to mark the size of your product, or maybe the color, or whatever it is. Throwing in a sticker with your product is a fun way to add extra value that your customers wouldn't expect. Most of my customers are small businesses, so that's why I went with support makers, because it's something they can relate to. And again, I'll have this file available for purchase if you want to use it yourself. Lastly, I'm going to throw in these postcards with my orders. They're from No Issue, and they are environmentally friendly and printed really beautifully. I went with getting a print on the front so that the customer could use this to hang up on their wall or on like a corkboard or something. And then on the other side, I put my branding and a spot for a thank you note. I think when you add a handwritten note with that person's name, it just adds a personal touch, and it sets you apart from big stores that you would find online like Amazon. Again, I got this print or the image from Creative Market, so I'll make sure to link that below so you can grab it yourself if you want. And also I will link the No Issue Co website, so if you want to get these cards, you can grab those as well. So it's the next day. I ran out of light yesterday and had to finish the video today, but I think it all turned out really well. There's 4 different ways that I have kind of leveled up my packaging. The first is with rubber stamps. That's basically how I incorporate my brand. It's a really inexpensive way to add your brand to different products, because when you get custom printing with your brand on it, that can be quite expensive. So this is one idea. It's also a little bit more sustainable because you just have to buy ink pads, and you can refill those ink pads with ink, so you don't even need to buy new ink pads. You can just refill them with the ink. So the next thing I did with packaging is stickers and labels. I really like how those turn out. I feel like they give it a very professional feel, and I like the NEATO labels because they are super glossy, and when I print on them, it feels like it was printed by a professional printer, so they feel really high quality. Second way that I kind of gave a luxurious feel to my packaging is with a wax seal. This is also something that is like a long-lasting reusable way of branding. It might be expensive at first to get the wax seal if you want something with your logo on it, which you can buy, Or you can just go on Amazon and you can get a letter if you have an initial to your name, or an image like maybe a heart or something like that. Lastly, I like to give something with my packages, like a freebie, but not something that someone's just gonna throw out. So some people will add their business cards, but people don't generally keep those. So I use these postcards, and they are from No Issue Co. And they're really great because this kind of feels like an art piece on its own. So the person that is getting this could also just use this and hang it up on their wall if they want to after. There's no writing or branding on it. That is all on the back, and it just gives me a nice spot to leave a custom note, and I think people really appreciate that. That's everything. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions or tips for packaging, I'd love to hear them, or if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.